And he'd formed a new quartet called the Stamps. And I listened to some of the records, and they had all this power.
He made the Stamps. He brought them.
He put them together.
One of his nephew, and one of his son-in-law. The other two, I don't know where they came from.
But each one of the guys individually are good, as you can see.
I noticed.
They all have good.
See, we come from a different background. We come from the Middle West or from the West Coast.
You don't hear this too much.
So we don't hear this. So we see a bunch of guys, and it has a whole different kind of level of meaning to us because it's just not part of our background.
You know, when I was in high school, I had records of Mario Lanza and the Metropolitan Opera. I love music. The Spanish, I like the Mexican flavored songs.
But this is so
music.
different.
But this thing here, the gospel thing, is just.
It shows in the music too, because there's a kind of if you've seen Baptist choirs, there's a kind of intensity about it. And it's the same kind of intensity, electricity that you have on stage. And
It comes out in almost every song.
It's a kind of a soul. It comes from way deep inside.
It's inside. Yeah.
It just isn't singing notes. It's singing something that seems to come from very deep inside of you.
And at certain times you push out and pull in. Just a part of you. You don't really think about it.
When I was in France about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was doing a film on Jean-Claude Keely, and I asked him just offhand who was his favorite singer, and he said, Elvis Presley. He's my man.
Oh, really?
He's my man.
He's my favorite skier.
And I asked him why.
That's nice.
He said, but he did this whole thing. He says he has soul. You know, it's hard for an American to talk to a Frenchman and understand that he understands soul better than you do. But he really does. He says he sings, from in here. And that was his way of describing. He had a very limited English at the time.
It's fantastic. No, but this, yeah. This is very. All right, boys, put it away. We'll do 2 shows a lot of times, and we'll go upstairs and sing until daylight. Gospel songs.
How do you do it? How do you...
Not too often. When you're working overnight there.
I mean, what does it do for you? I mean, to get into this, is it like
I think it more or less puts your mind at ease. It does mine. Because you've been really concentrating and everybody's been working out. So these things we know.
It's like old friends.
Right. And it puts your mind at ease.
It takes you down and just
takes you down to a level. Otherwise, you go out of here you couldn't sleep for, There's nothing wrong with it, but if you ended on a real fast up-tempo song or something, we leave the studio and nobody can sleep for hours.
You're right, though. When you leave the stage like a place like Vegas, you're really up. You're really, really flying.
Where have you found the guys? I mean, we know about J.D., but like the other guys who are in the chorus, it seems like you've known them forever, just watching you around the piano and singing, like you're like real super old friends from a long, long time.
Well, like I said, I knew J.D. from back when I was 15 years old, when he first came to Memphis to sing with a group called the Blackwood Brothers. And I was a big gospel music fan, so they would sing all night. And I would stay there all night, And he had formed this new group himself a couple of years ago. And I just heard their records and put them together with the inspirations and everything else that we had. Looked in the gutter in there. Looked in the gutter, man, and dug them out.
And all of that's going on the stage. It's really.
But then when you put it all together,
it seems to be a kind of like a relationship going on stage. It's like everybody is a friend of everybody else on stage. And that's something very rare. You don't get that kind of feeling.
Well, I think it's because we enjoy it, And we constantly enjoy it, which means that You know, we do 2 shows a night for 5 weeks, but we never let it get old. Every song is like we do it for the first time, and that's one of the secrets, you know.
Well, like it's not a planned thing. You don't do the songs, the same sequence.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
we can change them around, but even if we do the same songs,
It's not the.
they're new, and the sound is you know, the feeling is there every time.
It's a different feeling each time, right?
It's a good feeling. You know, we never let it down because there's a new audience out there. Plus, we enjoy what we're doing.
Well, Elvis communicates with us, really. I mean, you really do from the stage. I've sung with a lot of people, but he has some way of keeping you interested and communicating between you and him. And,
I'm not going to tell you how.
You aren't going to tell us the secrets? Well, hell, we'll get out.
Things that go on behind my back and things. No. But we will. We'll keep it interested or interesting somehow. You know.
5 weeks, man.
Oh, shut up.
The last show was working with you.
Yeah.
At the end of the 5 weeks, it was, you know, it went by like that, and it seemed like a day.
Well, see, like, I don't know. For instance, this evening, I know you were running just through everything just for us, for the cameras, what have you. Which would seem like if you did the reverse on us and said, well, guys, just walk around with your cameras like you normally do in the concert, it would be a drag to us because it would be hard for us to get up to that level. But what's hard for us to figure out is that you can turn it on here just like you do on the stage.
Well, you know what's interesting about music and about all the people here, they find new sounds, you know, and they do things differently themselves. So it's like a new experience every day. The guy on the guitar will find a new lick, or the guy on the piano will find something, or the voices will add something, you know. And I hear all this, and it inspires me. Yeah.
Because like we watch, it's new for us. We're watching things like you and the lead guitarist kind of looking, the looks that go back and forth, and we're lining up shots. There's like really something going on, some sort of magic. You know, we know already the game that goes on with Charlie Hodges and the kidding, the back and forth, and that's part of it too. So there's a kind of thing going on there. There's something going on there. I notice when your eye goes over to JD when the chorus comes in, you know, each one of them is like a little turn on. You know, it's like a conversation that goes on each one, but there's surprises.
It's like
in
a
it.
feedback.
Yeah, it's a back and
Working
forth,
back
and
and
you're
forth.
turning each other on.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, it never ceases. It goes on.
And that's what we're looking for in the film. That's what the film has to explore totally. It's that whole electricity, you know, that's just kind of circulating back and forth.
I hope you find it.
Hey, it's not. Well, we had to tell you, we looked and it wasn't there.
Thanks.
So we're wrapping. Okay, let's call it a night.
Got to rest up for the road.
Got
Got a big jump from here to
Buffalo or wherever.
Buffalo.
This is a tour I usually lose about 2 inches, not in here, but in here.
Milwaukee.
To hang by my hands for about 2 weeks to get it back.
Yes. All one-night stands, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's fun, see. It's excitement. It's,
Got to figure out how to get a pen in each room for these guys to sing after the show.
Oh, let's go home, everybody.
I think so. Enjoyed it, fellas.
This is the only beginning of I think, a really enjoyable experience.
Thank you. We'll do our best.
I know you will. We'll try and do ours. Now, you're supposed to say, I know you will. See, and then,
No
then we're all
comment.
cool.
No comment.
Okay.
We're even.
Good night.